Hey, welcome to Wisdom Wednesday with Pastor Josh. Wisdom is the quality or state of being wise, as knowledge of what is true, right, coupled with just judgment as to action, sagacity, discernment, and insight. We're going to look at what that means today on this edition of Wisdom Wednesday. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining me today for Chapter 3 of Brant Hansen's book, Unoffendable. And Chapter 3 is entitled 6 Billion Rings, and kind of a reference to the Lord of the Rings. If you've ever watched that trilogy by J.R.R. Tolkien, and so he kind of references how anger can be a ring, that needs to be taken care of. And if you haven't seen the movie, maybe that's a good movie night idea for you. And so he kind of goes on to talk about some different things, and he says this statement here. He says, your life, page 19, says, your life will become less stressful when you give up your right to anger and offense. And then he gives this C.S. Lewis quote, which is a little bit long, but I'm going to read it. It's about a paragraph or so. He says, one man may be so placed that his anger sheds the blood of thousands, and another so placed that however angry he gets, he will only be laughed at. But the little mark on the soul may be much the same in both. Each has done something to himself, which, unless he repents, will make it harder for him to keep out of the rage next time he is tempted. And it will make the rage worse when he does fall into it. Each of them, if he seriously turns to God, can have that twist in the central man straightened out again. Each is, in the long run, doomed if they will not. The bigness or smallness of the thing, seen from the outside, is not what really matters. And so he goes on to say here that, in fact, the stuff that usually might offend us is a huge opportunity, which I thought was kind of interesting. Jesus told us to forgive, that we will be forgiven as we forgive others. Fact is, most of us don't get that many opportunities to forgive. Once I realized that, traffic went from being an exercise in anger to forgiveness practice. Life is so much better that way. And then he goes on here, and he says, yes, we can get angry. Can't avoid it. Yes, we get angry. Can't avoid it. But now I know that anger can't live here. And I think that's the point he's trying to make, is that he's not saying that you'll never get angry. I've had some friends that I've shared this book with that say, we're going to get angry. Like, is he really thinking that we're not going to get angry? But he's saying, yes, we get angry, can't avoid it. But I now know that anger can't live here. And that's the important part. He says, I can't keep it. I can't try it on. Can't see how it looks. I have to take it to the cracks of doom, like now, and drop that thing, much as I want to wear it a little while. That's a reference to the Lord of the Rings, and the One Ring. If you watch that or know about that, you'll have an idea what he's sharing about there. He says, I'm not entitled to anger because I'm me. I can't handle anger. I don't have the strength of character to do it. Only God does. We can trust him with it. Jesus gets angry, but his character is beyond question, so he is entitled. We all think that we deserve to carry anger, but it will destroy us unless we let it go. We have to deny ourselves, die to ourselves, and surrender ourselves. And so I thought that was really good. This idea that we cannot allow these things to live with us. We have to be willing to let them go. We have to be willing to let them go. And so I want to challenge you today with that thought. Are you willing to let go of your anger? Are you willing to let go of the things that offend you, your right to be offended? Are you willing to let it go? Because if you're not, you might as well stop. You might as well stop going through this. You might as well just chalk up in your life that you're just going to be an offendable, angry person. Because unless you're willing to let it go, there's not a whole lot more God can do in your life in that area. When you say no to that, you put a roadblock in your spiritual journey. And so I challenge you, allow the Holy Spirit to speak to you. And if he puts his finger on something and saying, hey, right here, you got to let this go, then I challenge you to let it go. Because if you won't, I can tell you what, that's the place where you have to return to be able to really see God do something in your life, because it can be a huge stumbling block, a huge hang up in your life, unless you're willing to let the Lord help you work through it. So I just challenge you with that. Be brave. allow God to point those things out to you. Allow Him to help you move past those things and let those things go. Let God be the one who handles the anger. Let Him be the one that deals with all that, because we know that He's capable of doing it in a way that we're not capable. So, love you. Thank you for being here, watching this today. We have one more chapter to go through this week before our Fun Friday podcast, and so chapter 4. So we'll see you tomorrow to go through that together. Thanks for joining me.